Edition of the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. This is the 2nd of January, 2023, the first show of the year, and just so glad to be part of it. I'm it. I can't be part of it that's the one thing that has to happen. The hell is wrong with me? So glad you are here. Hope everything went okay. Hope you had a great time. Amateur night. Walked into Jackie's residence yesterday because the plan was to pick up her dog. I had to babysit her dog. And in order to do that, I had to drive her across the state to go visit my dad. You're like, wait, huh? What? Yeah, the way it unfolds is the dog needed somebody to take care of her. No one was, because Jackie and Justin went to the friggin' Lions game. Hold on. Hey, no paw licking. Don't start the year off on a good note. Don't lick your paws. We're going to see my dad, the NFK, Diana, and myself. Oh, yeah, let's do it. Let's go over there and pick up Cece. Now, she's got a couple of friends that rang in the new year with Jackie and Justin the previous night. And, oh, dude was just hung over. They ended up, leaving at, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., whatever, to go back to their places. But we pick up the dog, go see my dad, and these two friends are there. And the one guy, he was like one of the best men in the wedding. And I thought I was gonna have to call the EMTs or something. He's just laying there, just fucking brain dead. I think we barely got a grunt out of the guy. He's wearing his Michigan gear, and more on that in a second. So I know he had the blues because he's a Walmart Wolverine honk. So, oh shit, you're sad, you're bummed out. Hang on, I gotta drink this coffee. It was such an amazing amount of football over the weekend. All right, off we go. By the way, Rang in the new year. No, it was New Year's Day at my dad's house. It was Diana, my brother-in-law, Kevin, myself, the dog, go to my dad's. And the plan, as I like to do, I like to cook for the guy. So, well, both of them. Drive 2.5 hours. And we get there. They all immediately start watching the Lions game. More on that in a second. And, I just freaking love cooking. It's really become a fun thing for me. I am just turning into such a crafty, wily chef. I fucking love the way I cook. I am really the best. I would love to be on that show, Hell's Kitchen, you know? So it was a leg of lamb, opened up. Again, try not to think where that food, before it became food, it was once an adorable creature. I just cannot handle it. Zest from 2 lemons. 5 large cloves of garlic minced. A 1/3 cup of Italian parsley minced or chopped. Mixed with extra virgin olive oil to form like this delicious paste. You wipe it on the lamb, and then you roll the fucking thing up, and then you tie it tight with butcher's twine. Throw that shit in the oven for an hour at 400 degrees. Just before you do that, you put olive oil on the outside of it, salt and pepper. Oh my God! Just crushed. Get it out of the oven at about 136 degrees. Let it sit for 10. Slicey, servy. And then don't even get me started on how awesome the scalloped potatoes were. My God. AC Davis 2259 is new. Welcome to you. I saw that you followed on Twitch the other day. I appreciate that. Scalloped potatoes, you know, you got to start with a pan full of sliced sweet onions. Sliced thin. Then another 5 cloves of garlic minced, sauteed in butter. You do the onions for like 4 minutes first. Drop in the garlic for 2. You add, I don't know, about a 1/2 cup, 1/3 cup of flour. Let it kind of get all grindy in there, grainy all over it. Then you got to add, what do you add? What did I add? I forget now. I added a cup of chicken stock. Slowly stirred that in. Then I stirred in a cup of whole milk, slowly. And then low heat. Low heat. Stirry. And then when the edges start to bubble a little bit, it's ready. Turn off the heat. If you let that shit bubble too much, it's going to change the level of consistency. And believe it or not, it's going to become runny after you bake it. You don't want that. You got to have this creaminess. Chris says you're making a ROUX. I don't know how to say that word. How do you pronounce ROUX? Is that what I'm doing? I don't know. I'm just reading a recipe. A roux? It's called a roux. Okay, if you guys say so. Anyway, I'm the best fucking roux maker in the world because that shit, I wanted to eat it like right there. Yukon Gold potatoes sliced 1/8 inch thick. Line the bottom of a greased Pyrex 13x9. Strain out those onions. Lay them on top. Put your roux on top of that. Cup of cheddar cheese. Actually, you take a cup of cheddar cheese, put it in a mixing bowl, and a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. Not the shit you get in the green can either. The stuff that costs $6 in a cellophane package at Meijer. Mix all that shit together. Sprinkle that on top of that layer. Another layer of 1/8-inch thick Yukon Golds. More roux. Finish the roux. Another 1 cup of cheese. Oh, what else? What about the thyme? Where's the thyme? Fresh thyme leaves. Where did I put the thyme again? I think the thyme. Fuck. You know what? I'll leave it in the show notes. I'll leave the recipe in the show notes. Bake for an hour. There's like I think you got to bake it first covered and then uncovered. It's all in the show. It came out just, and then thing is, I finish it. I put it in the fridge for 2 days. Take it across the state, throw it in the oven for 30, and then it's like I just made it. It's that incredible, versatile. Versatility is the key. Dad lost his mind. Wonderful, wonderful meal. He was so happy with that. Joanne, great. The NFK, Diana, and my dad were allowed to. Why did I block that? Never mind. Sorry. Someone said slaughter the Turks, and I was supposed to allow that, and I didn't. Slaughter the Turks, scalp potatoes, and for some reason I clicked deny. Type it again, and I'll allow it. Just awesome. All the way around. Fucking spectacular. Florida Man 814 says, good to see Eric this morning. Glad he isn't on one of the 3-week vacations his old show takes. No, I can't afford it. You see, the thing about podcasting is for every single thing that you post, you earn money. So I like earning money because I like to live. So I really can't afford to take time off. And besides, I like doing this. This is like enjoyable to me. I wouldn't be doing this for nearly 1,000 episodes going on 4 years. 4 days away, by the way, from the 4-year Fireversary celebration right here on the show. If you don't know, the Fireversary, I take it back. January 4 is the Fireversary. That is the day I was fired. January 4, 2019. I always relive the scenario on the Fireversary celebration right here on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Year 4 of the Fireversary. And then January 6 is the anniversary of the first podcast. These all run together. You got January 4, Fireversary, and that is from morning radio when I lost the job at Cumulus. January 6th, 2 days later, was the first podcast. And then there's a date in February. I do not remember the date that I lost the gig with Free Beer and Hot Wings, which will now be 7-year Fireversary. But to me, the big Fireversary is January 4. That was when I was like, okay, now what? Now what the hell do I do? And then, voila! 2 days later, the podcast is born. All right. Let's see. I'm wondering if Daisy's snoring is going to drive everybody crazy. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear that. I think you can if you have headphones on. It's super loud. Hang on. Listen. What I want to know is it overly distracting? Is it wrecking everybody? Because she's gone, and I don't have the nerve to wake. I feel bad if I have to wake her up, and I don't think it's too distracting because the mic gates, so it doesn't really pick it up, and I'm constantly talking. So, oh my God. Linda says 26 more shows till 1,000 podcasts. You should do something special, like an audience participation Zoom show. Nah. You would be surprised. My comfort zone is here, and I don't know. I just Maybe. Who knows? It's not that big of a deal. It's I kind of always realize after the show is done, oh, we just had the 1,000th show. I didn't even recall. It always slips my mind. I don't know. We'll see. Nevertheless, the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio, Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. This is a short week because, okay, so today is the 2nd, Tuesday is the 3rd, Wednesday is the 4th. That's Fireversary Day. And then that's it for the week, okay? I am then traveling. I have to get up hours before the crack of dawn on Thursday to fly to Florida for the AT Children's Project Disney Half Marathon. So, okay. All right. And so that's going to be something. That race is going to be, I have a plan, and that is to walk a lot. Amy sent some terrific advice, and, you know, she is absolutely fantastic at marathon running. She just ran the New York City Marathon, I believe. She says, Eric, good luck this coming weekend with your half marathon. I'm sure you'll do great. I know you've done this many times before, but I'm going to mom out on you because runners care about other runners. Unless if you're Joe Morin. He just gives me shit. 1, drink lots of water. Don't forget to start now. I better see a gallon jug of water next to you on Twitch tomorrow. That's a myth, Amy. We're not camels. No. What I've read is absolutely contradictory to what you just said. Drink normal amounts of water. If I start drinking water now, it's not going to help me in 5 days. I love you, but that is absolutely not true. Listen to your old body. Well, I don't know why we have to add the word old there, Amy. Walk if you have to, she writes. It's going to be warmer there than what we are used to here. I was thinking you might not be used to the warm weather, and it might catch up faster than you think. Thank you. That is true. I probably will. It probably will happen. I am attaching a picture of a couple of items that I use for fuel before and during runs. You know, the little, like, gummy things that are full of, like, various carbohydrates and maybe some electrolytes. I think they work great. See the attached picture? You can get them on Amazon. She writes, drink more water after you are done drinking water and eat lots of salt beforehand. Heart attack levels of salt. You are going to need it in the heat of the day. And the sun is going to suck it out of you. Okay, I'm done being a mom. You will do great. Can't wait to hear about how it went. It's going to go great. The beauty is it won't be in the heat of the day. In the heat of the day, down in Mobile, Alabama, working on a rabbit with a steel-dried hammer. Because it's like the race starts in the dark. They get you in and out of there before the tourists show up at the park. They don't want you anywhere near their park. They want you to do the stupid race. It starts before the sun even rises, and then you're finishing as like it's just rising. It's ridiculous. So with that, Thursday, Friday, and Monday, I do have material planned for you. I'm not going to let you go. Remember, I said, if I don't have material being posted, I don't make any money. I need to make money. Talking about the advertisements that are heard regularly on the show, those all have to be surrounded by content. So that's what I do. And you will have content Thursday, Friday, and Monday that some of you or a lot of you may have heard before. And I like to call these shows not the best of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Because it's not. I basically go in the previous 970 some odd shows and randomly grab shit, or I don't mean shit, I mean anything, and post it. There you go. Enjoy this. It's something. Hopefully, I'm just trying to keep you somehow engaged in some way, shape, or form to the Eric Zane Show podcast. So that's what is happening this week. A little bit of a squirrely, weirdo week. So I have to work ahead. So there's a very, 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 very strong chance that there will be no Ben and Eric Patreon podcast this week. And no, Who Are These Zanes show. And the reason why that is because I'm working my ass off trying to get the best of shows done. And I'm also, I've got sports all during the week up until when I leave. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I got a game Monday. I got a game Tuesday. I got a game Wednesday. Ben works till about 5. So it's just one of those kind of crazy weeks to start the year. Did you see that story about the guy in Times Square? Some jihadists left Maine to go to Times Square and slaughter people. Times Square machete attack. The guy, all he needed was a backpack, his crazy ass Taliban writings, $200, and this weapon right here. Million people in Times Square. He busts this thing out and starts going after the cops. There's 3 cops there. This fucking lunatic, he hammers one cop right in the head with it. Huge gash on his head. Then he hits the other cop, and huge gash on his head, and a skull fracture because of that one. And then that guy pulls out his pistol and shoots that motherfucker right in the shoulder. That guy did not die, but they neutralized the threat. Suspect in New Year's Eve machete attack on police near New York Times Square expressed desire in diary to join the Taliban and die a martyr. That's what this lunatic's goal was. Wow, 19 years old to become that fucked up at such a young age. Wow. This happened just outside of a security screening zone because when you walk into there, if you got a backpack or whatever, they're gonna search you. And so he knew that was the end of the line. He carried a handwritten diary that expressed his desire to join the Taliban in Afghanistan. Trevor Bickford is his name. Under police guard at Bellevue Hospital, where he's being treated for a gunshot wound to the shoulder sustained during the attack. 3 cops injured. So he's in fact, one of New York's most high-profile events just a day after their department had warned of an ISIS-aligned video calling for lone offender attacks. So this guy answered the call. On Sunday, federal authorities from the United States Attorney's Office, Southern District of New York, and Manhattan DA's office were discussing whether to charge Bickford federally under state law or both in relation to the attack. So now this guy will probably, muddy up the legal system for how many years? My God. If this were in another country and you did something crazy like that, this guy would already be dead. NYPD had sent a bulletin Friday to law enforcement partners across the country titled ISIS-aligned media unit releases video ahead of New Year's Eve demanding lone offender attacks. How the fuck did they get their hands onto that? Intercepting. According to the sources, the video being circulated in online chat rooms shows selected video clips suggesting various means of attack, blah, 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 blah. Other horrible news. Well, they finally caught someone who they think killed the 4 kids at, Idaho, Wyoming? I don't know. That college where the 4 young kids were slashed to death. God, fuck. This psychopath, they picked him up in northeast Pennsylvania. Cops are very hushed about anything of this story. Very little has come out. Bryan Kohberger is his name. But I see that he was like a criminal justice major. He was a 28-year-old PhD student. He was. I don't think he's going to be going to school anytime soon. And teaching assistant in the Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology at Washington State University, which is not far from where the University of Idaho students lived. One of the dads of one of the young people killed is now I had read that he's connecting the dots, and he is able to now see a connection, but he's not saying what, and nor are investigators, as to what this Kohberger's connection to these 4 very, very young students was or is. They don't know. No one said anything. They do know, but they're doing a good job at keeping all this shit on the down low, because that's kind of half the battle when it comes to trying and convicting these people, is information leaking out. But I was just before the show started, something caught my eye, because the daughter of, you remember BTK, Dennis Rader, BTK killer? The daughter of BTK is reacting. Her name is Carrie Rawson, and I think she, at last time I heard, she lives here in Michigan, Carrie Rawson. She had heard that this maniac, alleged maniac, kind of was following BTK's patterns or something like that, or doing something BTK related to inspire him in this alleged murder plot. I'm going to take a quick listen to this, and we can check it out. This is the daughter of BTK on some TV show. Audio check, video check. Here we go.
One of the most disturbing aspects of Bryan Kohberger's past is what he was studying, criminology, and who he was studying under at DeSales University in Pennsylvania. Dr. Katherine Ramsland, a serial killer expert who had a close relationship with serial killer BTK, even writing his autobiography.
What did you first think when you heard that Dr. Ramsland was teaching Bryan Kohberger?
Personally, my first reaction was just like my stomach churned, and I literally physically got ill, knowing that there was now a connection back to Ramsland, and she connects to my father. It was just a lot.
Carrie Rawson is serial.
So is the idea here that this guy, did he, get the education? Because he's very smart, or he's very well educated. This guy who's supposed to have killed these 4. How the fuck did he? What is it, chicken or the egg here? Did he like? I'm studying to be a serial killer, or did he become a serial killer because of the studies? Weird, or none.
Dennis Rader, a.k.a. BTK's daughter. BTK stands for Bind, Torture, Kill, and Rader is responsible for killing 10 people.
Do you think he may have had any sort of communication with your father?
Kohberger could definitely have had communication with my father. Well, obviously, we know he studied my father in criminology classes. He probably studied him heavier since he had Ramsland as a professor. But we need to find out if there's a deeper connection. It concerns me.
A deeper connection, like if Kohberger was corresponding with BTK in prison. He would have had access because of his professor, Dr. Ramsland, who's appeared in more than 200 crime documentaries and was even on News Nation in October discussing the Delphi case.
Help explain to me the mindset of a killer living in a community where they have carried out, allegedly, this heinous act.
Well, if it is the person, the suspect that they have under arrest right now, he was married, so he would have had to have secrets.
Dr. Ramsland is known for her TV appearances, but she's not talking now. When I asked her about Kohberger, she responded, "I cannot make media statements about him at this time." For Carrie Rawson, the nightmare in Idaho has now come full circle.
I want to figure out how to stop it. Like, it's hard to be the kid of this guy and live with this, and then see somebody else go do this and wonder, did your dad influence him? Did your dad talk to him? Like, was he studying my father outside of academics?
Wow. That's fucking...
Am I ever going to get answers to that? I don't know.
And DeSales University released a statement initially saying that they are heartbroken by the senseless tragedy. We followed up with them with more questions about Kohberger and specifically what sort of research he was doing there, but we have not gotten a response, Natasha.
If you think about it, this is insane. The idea being floated then by Carrie Rawson, the daughter of BTK. Could he have manipulated this dude into killing people? Wow. And I think that's something that they're trying to find out. Holy shit. Oh my God. I've read a little bit about Carrie Rawson, about when she found out. She has a book out called The Serial Killer's Daughter or something like that. And it's the opening of the book is good because it's describing how she was informed by the FBI and the Wichita police about what's going on when Rader was brought in. But the rest of the book's kind of, I don't know. But regardless, I can't imagine the life of her. Oh my God. And every day you're just trying to, put some distance between your father, who had lived a double life. And while all that shit was going on, he was a doting father to you. It's really unbelievable how that all unfolded, which, by the way, interestingly enough, my daughter, Madison, is starting to lean more into the line of work for the people that profile these type of criminals. She's going to get a master's degree in what's known as forensic psychology. So now I'm kind of like, I'm always interested in the things my kids are doing, but this is something that is so fucking cool to me because I've read a lot of books by forensic psychologists, in particular, the guy who wrote the BTK book that I was just talking to you about, and the guy who wrote a book called Mindhunter, John Douglas. He's got several books about this exact topic. And Mindhunter was his book that eventually was the inspiration for the Netflix TV show. And wow, it's just really, really interesting to me. What's Madison's take on your very own stalker? Oh, yeah. She says, Dad, you need just lay waste. AK-47. Have it ready. But just remarkable. I'm glad they caught this fucking guy. And what a creepy looking fuck this dude is. Holy shit. But then again, has there ever been someone accused of a murder like this who you look at and go, oh, he looks sweet. He looks so kind. Those eyes aren't dead at all. It looks awesome. All right. I haven't even touched on what I wanted to touch on. I will do it in a second. And it is all sorts of football shit. Oh, my God. What a weekend. But first, for those of you that are enjoying this live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, it's time for you to go. Because, this is just a taste. I give you the first, half hour or so. The rest of it's on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Just like AC Davis 2259, who followed over the weekend. Thank you so much for that. You go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Hit the follow button. Then you know when I'm live. And then you can watch it uninterrupted. Okay? Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Hit the follow button and subscribe with Amazon Prime. You get one per month for free from Amazon. You got to link up your Amazon Prime account to Twitch Prime. It's simple to do. Don't panic. Just read, click shit. You'll figure it out. If not, let me know and I'll guide you through it. There you go. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. The audio podcast is made available shortly after this finishes on all of the platforms. Just search Eric Zane Show and subscribe, rate, and review in that regard. And what else do I have to? Oh, yeah. If you ever want to reach out to me with correspondence, Eric at ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Thank you.